Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator news and updates. It's going to be a short one today, but we got a lot of really cool information included in it, so stick around. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. They normally say save the best for last, but in this case we're doing the best first because I am very excited about this one. Bluebird Simulations and Just Flight previews the Boeing 757 coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, before everyone gets jumping out of their seats like myself, there is no release date yet. However, progress is progress. That's all I gotta say. So progress has been made. We are going to be looking at two different models. We got the 757 200 and 300 coming down the line here. Now we have a ton of information in regard to what's been working on here. The cockpit is just about 90% complete, as well as a little extra work has been done with the FMS, or yet to be done with the FMS. So the FMS is being worked on, the cockpit's being addressed, so just about wrapping up, and then a lot of work has been done on the external model as well. The 757, I think, is one of the cooler of the Boeing models. I love the 757 and the 767. There's just something about them that just separates them from the 37 and the 47, and I don't know how to describe it, but I've really always loved the way they look. From the screenshots that we have available currently, the aircraft looks fantastic. Here's some detail being put into the landing gear. Here's an external from, behind the engines. You guys obviously know what you're looking at, so I'll just cycle through these. But you can see a ton of detail. Look at even like the little bubbling that you see on LCD screens as they start to get old. Tons of detail, and we know that Just Flight and Bluebird Simulations already have put out fantastic products, so them working together on this one, I think it's going to be a major hit. I am super excited for this aircraft. I love the 57 and 67 series aircraft. There's just something about them. They look really cool. And I can't wait to get my hands on this one. I saw this one and I was just like jumping out of my seat like, ooh. And I was really hoping to see a release date information, but unfortunately we don't have that as of this time. But it will definitely be nice to see the Boeing fleet start to increase a little bit. And I don't know that I'm a fanboy one way or the other. For example, I'm excited to see an A350 coming to the simulator. I love the A320 series, the A380. I'm drooling over. But then on the opposite hand, I love the 737 series, the 57 and the 67, and obviously the 47. I wish we had a really good 47. I hope that eventually PMDG brings the Queen of the Skies to Microsoft Flight Simulator. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on with some of the fascinating news for today. This next one, the Black Square steam gauge overhaul has been released. We talked about this one a few weeks back. Essentially what this is, and my understanding is they are starting with the Cessna 208. I don't know if it's limited to, but in this particular situation, the add-on completely changes all of the forward cockpit, or the front panel, if you will, of the Cessna 208B to a custom steam gauge. Now, with that also comes a completely custom electrical system. We have fully functional circuit breakers. You're also going to have a selection of radios that you can choose from. You're not just going to be limited to what you're seeing here in the image. You're still going to have the Garmin, or you can use the original Bendix. Now, $21.99 is, I don't know if that's steep or not. We're going to be picking it up. We're going to be checking it out. We're going to see how much it truly changes it. Now, you can see the entire panel is changed. Everything is custom. It's basically a brand new cockpit from the circuit breakers forward. So there's a lot to be said there, and that's a lot of work. And a completely custom electrical system with, again, functioning circuit breakers, that's a ton of work. So I'm not going to write it off. I'm sure that many people are going to go the same direction that I initially did, which is, okay, you're taking a freeware aircraft and you're giving me a payware add-on for it. That's not the first time we've seen that, and again, it's all about effort and quality and what are you bringing to the sim, right? And if it absolutely meets the performance and the expectations of what we would expect to see with a payware simulator, then by all means, So I was initially on the fence about it, and then the more I read about it and what it does, and taking a look at the screenshots and seeing the differences, I actually launched the 208 in its default state in the sim and started comparing screenshots. And there is a major difference in the texture quality and what you're seeing. It's a very significant change. It is a very significant change. So we're definitely going to be picking this up. We're going to be trying this one out and seeing what it's like to fly the Caravan. I am definitely all for the Steam Gauge add-on. Quite frankly, I'm sort of over the LCD screens. I know that's it's the way of the future, and you'd be hard pressed to find a brand new aircraft that isn't operating with LCD. But, I miss the Steam Gauges. I like it. The Cessna 172 Steam Gauge version in Microsoft Flight Simulator is my preference to fly in the 172s. We have so many aircraft that are using the G1000 or the G3000 that it is definitely nice to see the improvement. And that was the other benefit that I sort of got to thinking about when I started thinking about the cost. Like, what's, because that's what it always is, right? It's always cost to benefit. And that is another actual major enhancement for me, is that I'm sort of over the G1000, G3000s. It'd be nice to see some of the older Steam Gauges come around. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think about this add-on and whether or not you'll be purchasing it. Or if you already have, tell me what your thoughts are down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Next on the list, we have an update from PMDG. So, if all goes well this week, we should see the 737-600 be released. I did not see any kind of pricing information on that aircraft yet. I know we talked about that previously. I believe it's down around the $50 range, somewhere around there, $50 US. But don't quote me on that. It's been a minute since I've checked on that. What I'm more excited about is not so much that the 600 series is being released. Honestly, the 600 series I'll probably be skipping out on. What I am excited about is that what comes with this update is the LNAV update, which is supposed to significantly enhance the overall behavior and performance of the aircraft on the lateral scale. So that should be pretty awesome to see that. I am super excited to see what those adjustments are going to be like. The other thing, 737-800, that's probably going to be one that I am going to be taking a look at. I do like the 800 series. The 800, 900 are definitely going to be a lot of fun to fly. And I think having the two, the funny thing about it is, as I'm sitting here thinking about and saying to myself, well, why not the 600, but yet you want the 800? The 800 is still very similar to the 700. I don't know. My brain's crazy. I'm just one of those people, you can't trust me. I'm crazy. Anyways, so we are looking for the 800, hopefully mid-August. However, keep this in mind, and I'm really glad that this article specified this because it was my thought all along. When we first heard that the initial release for the 800 was supposed to be mid-August, shortly after that was when it was announced that Sim Update 10 was going to be pushed back until mid-August. So I got to thinking, I was like, this isn't going to go well. And if I remember correctly, Sim Update 9 was one of the things that pushed back the release of the 700 series. So they do make it very clear that there is a possibility, and I'm going to say with, in all honesty, more like likelihood, but they just say possibility, that with Sim Update 10, the release of the 800 series will be delayed, but we'll see what happens. Now, cool updates coming with Sim Update 10, and we'll be talking about that as we get a bit closer to it. I've been doing a little bit of testing with the beta, so we'll see what happens. I am not ready to throw any information out. There's a ton of YouTube videos on it right now if you guys are interested, but I'm still gathering sort of what my real thoughts are on it and what we can expect. But one of the new features that is highlighted here that will be kind of cool is the weather radar, especially for those of you who fly with live radar and want to start deviating courses and making course adjustments based on your weather. That will be a feature that is coming. And then they have here, guys, on this link, the changelog coming for the 737-700 series. It is massive. Look at this changelog. I am not going to go through it. Please, guys, feel free to click the link down in the description below to the PMDG update link and come down and check it out because it is extensive. There are a ton of things that are being added to the aircraft. We have bug fixes. There's texture adjustments. It's just getting prettier and prettier with each update. I'm really liking the texture updates. I'm a stickler for graphics. I love it. But anyway, a lot of things coming from PMDG, and I hope it continues to go smoothly. Finally, last up on our list from Just Flight's website, we have the Topmox Studios F22 Raptor A model. This is the premium version for $35.99. This aircraft did release yesterday. We are going to be doing a review, or I should say first impressions. I got to get away from review, but we'll be doing a first impressions video on this later this evening. So guys, be on the lookout for that as well. I do own the aircraft. I did purchase it with my own money. So I'll be giving you guys what my thoughts are on it. I can tell you that there are already a couple little weird issues with it. But all in all, it's been a pretty fun aircraft to fly around. So stay tuned for that later this evening. If you guys are interested in picking up this aircraft, if this is something that you've been waiting for, I will give you my honest thoughts on it and hopefully help you guys make the best decision for yourselves. But wanted you guys to be aware, in case that you were interested in purchasing this aircraft, that it is available for purchase. The other thing I will tell you guys right away is, if you have been using the freeware version, before you install the payware version, make sure you remove the freeware version. If not, the documentation does clearly state that you will experience some odd behaviors and possibly some bugs if you do not get rid of the freeware version first. All right. Well, guys, I really hope that, as always, you guys have enjoyed the video and found some useful information. It was certainly exciting for me. I'm really, really excited about the 757. I really hope that we get more frequent updates on that aircraft. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, and I love just the overall style and look of that aircraft. Let me know what you guys think about all the news that you heard today. I look forward to hearing from you guys. If there's anything else that you guys would like me to cover, also leave that down below. I do my best to read the comments on each video. Thank you all for the continued support, and as always, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.